And so how is debate different in like Australia and Canada versus the United States?
Yeah, I mean, look, the parliamentary styles of that all stem from Britain, like British parliamentary, and then they call it Australs or World Schools in Australia, um, and then obviously Canadian parliamentary as well. These are the fundamental difference is that they're impromptu. So unlike public forum or policy or even LD, like all of these sort of prep styles where you come with evidence, rather you're just given an hour to prepare for a tournament in Australs at least, in BP it's 15 minutes. And you're graded not just on your capacity to win arguments, but also your presentation style, which I think is something that is largely lost in American debate. I don't have a
Not even
strong,
largely, completely
completely
lost, at
lost.
least at the highest levels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even close. I mean, certainly like you can never take out the persuasive element in terms of like somebody believing that you have won like a line by line argument. But I think people like oddly pride themselves on their ability to try to like completely take out the performative aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
at least at like TOC tech debate. That's interesting. So are there any other kind of differences you've seen?
I think the absence of principled arguments, as I've seen it, at least in public forum, which is the American style that I've spent most time with, and then even I haven't seen a lot of LD, so I can't really talk to that. I know you're much more aware of this, but like the idea of having a basic principled argument at the top of a case, where you might say like the government has some kind of responsibility, or free speech is like just fundamentally important, without impacting it out into sort of terminal impacts of billions of people dying of nuclear disaster. That is something that I don't see in North America, but I do see a lot more in Australia.
So you would say like they don't assume utilitarianism in most debates, you would say?
I think it's that they're pluralistic, and you can be a pluralist. So you can start with a principled argument, and then if you sufficiently win the principled argument, you can really win a debate with that. If the other team doesn't have a sufficient response to some kind of fundamental ground level principle, but then most debates should, I think, come down to a practical clash at the end of it anyway. So there's definitely utilitarianism embedded in every debate, but just not
Right.
only utilitarianism. Yeah.
That's interesting. So yeah, we're actually having a bit of a revolution recently in public forum in the United States. It's been very cool, where people are trying to like kind of bring normative ethics into it, right? I'll admit it's people trying to like not want to have to defend consequences and answer things, right? So reading a lot of like relatively like tricky kind of deontic frameworks, but it's at least cool to see them starting to kind of consider things beyond just utilitarianism for like evaluative scopes for arguments. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.